What's up, everyone? Welcome to my first beat breakdown. My name is Andre. I'm from Orlando, Big 407, and today I'm going to be doing a beat breakdown of Goldiebaby's track Plugg off his recent track, his recent mixtape that dropped back in January. If you didn't check in, go ahead and check in. Alright, but let's get to this beat breakdown. Alright, for starters, I use a chord progression in F sharp minor, going with a 1-7 progression. And for this, I use F sharp, A, and C sharp. And you hear that along with the bass notes here. And together that sounds like this going forward. You know, kind of chill, kind of mellow, you know what I'm saying? So not too much of a big deal, but keeps it going. And now I use Analog Lab 5. 2324 and probably going on to 2025. You want to have this VST in your arsenal because you can get many sound banks from other producers on the internet that be doing this. A lot of us use it, so go ahead. For Plugg beats also, you want to have the VST called Purity. Everybody should know Purity. It's been here since back in the day, but easy to get VST, doesn't cost too much. And for the second instrument I use a bell. Going to bell perk, and I use bell with harmonics, and it sounds like this. Going down back to the C sharp and going down to B, keeping it going, kind of like a steady, not doing too much because it's Plugg. I'm not that familiar with Plugg. I'm not a pro. I like Plugg beats. I love them. Easy to do, but still a lot to learn. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the third instrument I use a flute from a free VST from the company, I want to just say Tapeotronic. I think it's either a flute or a mellotron, one of the two. I want to say it's a mellotron, but don't quote me on it. It's free to get. I don't know the website, but look it up. It's free. But for that, I use this here. And so on. Alright, going to the drum part. I want to say like the hi-hats, the claps, the snare, all that good stuff. Those are what the producers, we call drums, because that goes underneath the melody. Doing this with the hat. Sorry, let me switch that so you can see. Kind of repetitive in some parts. The clap. The shaker, you know, the pill bottle shaker. Can't forget that one. Going to the next one, which is a perk. Just kind of like a something like that, but it'll be lighter. It's like a bongo, like a high-pitched bongo probably, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Go ahead and light the crash. Most people use crashes or open hats, you know, signify or start off the beat and Plugg beats and plug in B. Some, not all. Next one that I used in here was the I want to say that part right here. That's also a snare from Zaytoven. You can find that in any drum kit nowadays. Not that hard to find. And the favorite part of everything would be the 808. When you have your 808s, make sure you put your velocity all the way up. But I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I just do that for personal preference. What else am I missing? Open hat. And as you see here, I have certain things bus, like this is a drum bus where I have all this connected and the bus is connected to the master. Well, the bus is connected to the master. These are not connected to the master, but the bus, I do that for drums, the melodies, or you can have a little bit more control and play with, you know, different effects on your tracks. And that's the tom. Do do do. Kind of like a drum type of thing to signify the next transition of the beat. So with all that together, I did this. On the plug. You know my mama raised a thug. This baby, yeah. Hey, he snapped that. I can't hold you. Goldie snapped it. Hey. Hey. Now you see how all that blended in so nicely? Now watch this. And then the switch up, I put halftime in the consolidation track. So just pretty much slowed it down. You know, just a little bit of a switch up. Now for the melodies itself, I put on an EQ. I put an EQ on for each. Some of them are for presets from these kits I have here. I have a lot. Don't ask me where I got it from. Internet will be your best friend. But you always want to practice EQing your sounds and melodies, because one, the 808 is going to need some space. So always keep that in mind. Most people either put 1 or 2 EQs. I can't say what's right and what's wrong. You know, practice makes perfect. I EQ'd everything here. This, I would assume this is the going to it. That's the flute if it was halftime, but let me go ahead and turn the halftime off for this pattern so you can hear it. Put an EQ on there with some reverb and a stereo enhancer so you can hear it a little bit more, a little bit better. And for the chorus, I put some reverb on there too, with a delay. And also another EQ, 2 EQs. Also these EQ, this here is just presets I found in one of my drum kits here. Depends on who you get your kits from. There may be some presets, maybe not. It doesn't hurt to do them by yourself. Trust me, practice makes perfect. Don't stop. And that was the bell. Yep. For the bell, I also put an EQ phaser. Don't know much about phasing, but you don't want to do too much with this. Some reverb, but cut it in half. And, you know, some delay. And I kept pretty much everything else a little bit dry. I just didn't want to do too much. I did, however, EQ my 808, but I did change it later in my later on projects. This is just for me listening bass, because I like how heavy the bass is in my room. So I'm not saying for you to do this for other artists out there, just my listening preference, okay? But yeah, EQ the 808. I busted, didn't really do much to it, but kind of match it. Didn't do too much to it. You can put effects on there if you want to. Sometimes overdrive, just a pinch, like, you know, just a pinch of salt. You don't want to do too much with it, otherwise you're gonna have a horrible disaster. And that's pretty much how I did the beat. So thank you guys for tuning in to my first beat breakdown. I'll catch you on the next one.